Mayong buntag.
Kumusta everyone? Mabuhay to our channel.
Today is construction day 27, and before we go up to the construction site, see what's going on, I just have a couple of quick updates. Later on this week, I'm going to be interviewing a local real estate agent and get her take on real estate in this area. I think it'll be an interesting video. She's actually one of the 3 realtors that we used back in March and April when we first got to Negros Oriental. So guys, look forward to that. I think it's going to be a real good video. The second thing is, and Wilma's going to love this, it's time to go shopping. So we're going to start videoing some of the items that we're going to pick out for the home. And the contractor asked us to start with the tile. So I think we're going to have about 3 different types of tile throughout the house, and then 1 for the pool area. So we're going to start going out to the various hardware stores and do some shopping. And then once we find the tile that we like, we have to make sure that we have the measurements down and how many square meters that we need to buy, and see if they have that amount at the store, obviously with 1 lot number. And if they don't, then we're going to have to order the tile. And we were told that it takes 30 to 60 days to get an order of tile in. So that may mean 70 or 80 days, depending on how quickly they can get the tile onto this island. So it's going to be very important to start early, and that's what we're going to do. So there's about 4 places down in Dumaguete that sells some very nice tiles. So we're going to visit those 4 locations, and we'll do a video of each, show you the name of the store and then the type of tile we're looking to purchase. And then we'll see if they have enough supply on hand, and we can go ahead and pay for it now and just set it to the side, or if we have to order it. And then I'll try to video that as well. If we need to order it, what's the steps to do so and how long it takes to come in. So that's the 2 updates for today. And let's get up to this construction site. Okay, so the 7 columns for the front of the property are now in, and they poured the footings. So there's the corner of the property. There's the corner column, and that footing is in. And then now you can see the tie beam rebar that is going from column to column. So it's 2 strands of 12 millimeter, and then you can see the half stirrups holding it together, and then that's tied with wire. And then you can see again, same process as the walls of the house. About every 20 inches or so, they do vertical rebar, 12 millimeter. And then up every 3 courses, they do another horizontal rebar. And that's all tied to the columns. So that's to create the strength. And again, you can see the ground level right there. So this is all going to be underground, backfilled with all the dirt that I'm kneeling on now. So what they're doing, the footings were poured on Saturday, so today's Monday, so they had time to dry. And so now what they're doing today is they are now basically pouring cement to bury that tie beam. So if I go down this way, you'll see the end result. So that rebar is all under the cement that they're pouring. Now the corner beam, as you can see, is 6 strands of rebar going up, 6 strands with the stirrups. But the rest of the columns are 4 strands, and that's the way it was all the way around the property. The reason for that is the 2 corner columns here for the gate will be larger. There'll be larger columns, one for look, but also to hold the gate, because the hinges of the gate will be into the column. So that's why these columns are larger. So that's what they're working on this morning, is basically pouring the footings for the columns here in front of the home. Okay, so I'm here at the other side of the front. So the 7 columns. So I wanted to show you a little close-up view. So all the way around the property, in the footing, is these 2 strands of 12 millimeter. And I showed it just a minute ago, but I want to get it a close-up. So you can see the half stirrups, and they're tied. And then the vertical 12 millimeter is also tied. So if you can see that, they bend it like an L, and then they tie that. And then they come up every 3 courses with the horizontal that goes in between the column. And it's tied at the column, and it's tied at all the vertical. So I just wanted to take a few minutes and give a close-up. So here's the rock that they put at the base, and then they come back and pour cement on top and bury the rebar. So there's an example there. So I wanted to give you a close-up of that. And then what we're going to do, and I mentioned it in Saturday's video, the last video I shot, that we will put conduit. There'll be electric running at the base of this wall, and then there'll be conduit run in the middle of the column that'll go up before we pour. And then we'll be able to run the electrical wires in each of the 7 columns, so we can have lights in the front of the property. So I wanted to share that. And then I also want to show you how dark this dirt is. So the owner of the subdivision was up here and said, "Hey Greg, if you need any more dirt, you can take this. It's about a 1 meter step, just like it is here, and we already, cut it down as a slant. If you need more dirt, just grab it from here." So we're gonna make this. We're gonna take a little more out of here. We got to move that telephone pole. But look how black this dirt is. Now that's fertile ground. So what we're going to do with this ground, this dirt, is we're taking it, Richard is taking it by wheelbarrow full, and he's going to put it up onto the property. And we're going to stockpile it. And we're not going to do anything with it until the end. And then we're going to use that as a top coat. I mean, the property here has great dirt anyway. It has the same dirt, but you can also see as you're digging footings, you're bringing up some more like sandy dirt and a little clay. And that's going to be used for backfill, but it's also going to get mixed in with the top layer. It's just going to happen. So it'll still grow a great garden, I'm sure, but to get pure black dirt like this and just stockpile it up on the property, and then hopefully we'll have enough for Wilma's garden to do maybe a 2 or 3 inch coating on top. We think that'll be really great for her garden. All right, so a quick update on the pool. They worked more today on the backfill of those 5 courses. But what they also did today was worked on getting the shape of the bottom of the pool. So if you remember, there was just a lot of dirt all the way across. So what they concentrated on today, and it was a lot of work, it took them about 3/4 of the day, 2 guys. They dug out, this is the deep end, so they dug out the dirt, and some went towards the backfill, but the rest came up to the shallow end. So again, this will be 3 foot deep and then it will gradually go down to 6 foot deep. So not a lot of progress with the block, but they did work on moving the dirt and start positioning it to have it ready. So when they pour the floor of the pool, they have the fill correctly. So they're working on that now. All right, so a viewer asked a question, how come over the windows there are several strands of rebar sticking out of the side of the house? So you see it again there, and again over this window. So what that is for the concrete awnings. Over every window in the home, there'll be a concrete awning that'll be built that'll basically come out and help shed water away from the windows, as well give a little shade to the windows, but also it's mainly to draw water away from the home. So there'll be awnings, cement awnings, and this rebar will help hold those cement awnings in place. So you'll see them throughout the house. So they've been working on these tie beams for about 3 days now. So they have the tie beams for the house in all except one section. But this happens to be the master. And walk into the walk-in closet and the master bathroom. So basically throughout the whole house the tie beams are in. But now what they're working on, and this seems to be taking a lot of time because it's a lot of work. So they're using plywood and cocoa lumber to form up the rest of the columns, and then to form up the tie beams. And you can see what they're starting now is they're pouring the fresh concrete down into form for this column. So that's going to be the final height. So they're working on that now. But these guys have been working non-stop for about 3 days now, just getting all the rebar in place and then building these forms. So it's a lot of work. It's taking some time. But they're getting to the point now where they're going to start, it looks like they're starting at the back of the house. So completing the column to the right height, and then start pouring the actual tie beam that ties from column to column. And again, that is the support of the roof. That is the main support. The columns going up and the tie beams going across, and then all the weight of the roof will rest on these beams and then transfer the weight down through the columns all the way down to the footing. So that's what they're working on. Today's view